Over here, the Jewish division of in Manhattan. We are here live at Trump Towers. We are learning Chassidut, which is Kabbalah, and Ivanka Trump is right here, and Jarrett. Nice to see you guys here in my class again. Thank you. Joe Zimmerman is here. Google, guy from Google, very nice.
Joe Lieberman.
Joe Lieberman, thank you for coming, Joe Lieberman, and we're happy to have this. The first time in history where we have more righties than lefties here, so it's a very good thing.
How did you spell Kabbalah? Because I don't know how you spell it right now. How did you spell Kabbalah?
Okay, K-A-B-B-A-L-A-H. A-L-A-H. Okay, so let's start the class without further ado. We have food over here, French fries, pizza. Okay, just press live.
So I always get my food from there now, so it's easier. We're back. We got pizza.
Okay, we're here live and we're starting. So this week's parsha is a very interesting parsha.
Yechiv.
How you doing?
Yeah?
Otherwise you put on the plate.
Okay, we're starting.
Interesting. Makes sense though.
I like these, the flavor. Hens, isn't it Australian hens? American.
I don't know.
Well, thank you very much.
Actually, Klein bought that. But there's herring, there's all the good for bison.
Yeah, see? Nah, fine. I'm full. Stuffed all the time. I'm so stuffed.
Stuffed?
Jellies. I'm stuffing myself even more, bro, for sure. Nah, yeah, I also had corn cakes. Corn with the cholent and with the
Okay, we're having a technical
the
difference.
hummus. I had like hummus as well. And I had a drink. You know what I had? I had Pepsi, but what was like white. It was like this. I think it's the latest. Pepsi flavored
Yeah, I know
water.
what you're talking about, yeah.
I think it's the latest drink. Hey, you know about that?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to try it.
Yo, what happened with that girl today outside 770?
Oh yeah, she was.
Which one?
Okay.
Let's go.
What's up, man?
Okay, let's start this class again because it didn't come out good. Okay.
Sit down, make yourself.
Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next installment of Kabbalah classes on the Sicha of the week from the Lubavitcher Rebbe King Mashiach. We have Ivanka Trump here as well as Jarrett. Thank you guys for coming. On so short notice, we have Kush here. We have Yehuda Leib Greenwald from Greenwald's Enterprise, and we have all the other executive directors who have kindly came to the Trump Estates in Trump Tower. Thank you very much. This is our first class in Trump Towers, and enjoy the food. Kanye will be coming soon as well to perform. This week's parsha is a beautiful parsha. It talks about all the blessings that Jacob gave his children.
I love this Trump crunchy rolls.
One of the beautiful things about this week's parsha is the last parsha of this book of Bereshis, the first book of the Torah. And in this week's parsha, we talk about the tribe of Asher and the tribe of Dan. And if you look at both of them, they have very similar blessings. The tribe of Asher was given a blessing that they would dip their feet in oil, and the camp of Dan traveled behind all the others. Perhaps there is a connection between the two details. That's why it's in the same sentence, in the same phrase where he blessed both of them at the same time. And let us understand this. So, die brachos mit welche Yaakov Avinu hat gebencht sein sich asher is ma'asher shemoinem lechoimi. So Yaakov said to his son Asher, ma'asher shemeini lachme, from Asher will come rich food. Rashi explains. Rashi is one of the main commentaries on the Siddur, on the Chumash. This is the first Sicha, Parshas Vayichi, Aleph, Dalet through Vav and Zayin. Okay, so it's Likutei Sichas, page 102, number 1 through 4. Okay. Rashi explains this to mean that the tribe of Asher will be blessed
We get turkeys tomorrow for lunch.
with an abundance of oil. Also points out that this was also Moshe Rabbeinu's blessing to Asher, that he will immerse his feet in oil. So what does it mean to have rich food? In those days, rich was oil. They didn't have sugars. They didn't have schmaltz heading. They didn't have, maybe they had schmaltz, but they didn't have the fattiest food was oil food.
No, they had olive oil.
That was the fattiest food. The only ingredients to make something really drenched and really, you'd put oil in it. You
put it on your head and your feet.
You put it on your head, you'd wash your feet in oil. The rich
Mashiach.
people would wash their whole bodies in oil. Oil was considered like soap, like shampoo, like everything.
Yeah.
And he will immerse his feet in oil. It has pointed out many times in the past that everything that exists physically has a corresponding existence spiritually. Furthermore, the source of the physical reality is a spiritual counterpart. So everything that was given as a blessing was not only a physical blessing, it was much more so a spiritual blessing. So what is the spiritual blessing that Moshe Rabbeinu was giving it to Asher, and then Jacob is giving it to Asher, Yaakov, and Rashi is explaining it this way, the oil. So we want to understand the significance. Every creation that exists in the world has a spiritual life force, right? That is continuously recreating it and keeping it alive. They say every blade of grass has an angel over it saying, live, grow, breathe, grow. Every fruit, get bigger, get bigger, get bigger. Every second of everything is being told how to live, how to continue, how to strive, how to grow. I have some fries.
Who wants?
No, no, thank you very much. I had enough for tonight.
Have some small
They're
sandwich.
very good. I like the crunchy ones. But,
These are good. Smoked. Pickles.
Because they're hot. Nah, I can't eat anything. I'm super full to the rim. This was not taking big cup.
So, we continue and explain. We know that everything in the world has something holding it up. And every time the world was existed, what it was existed from? It was from the words of God. The words of the Eibishter. Hashem spoke and the world existed. So if Hashem doesn't speak, the world doesn't exist. So there's a constant speech going on. There's this constant, God constantly saying that the world should exist. And if the words cease to exist, the world ceases to exist. So the words have to be constant. When a person builds a table, it's no longer his table. When a person cuts a tree down and makes a piece of wood, it's no longer the carpenter's tree. It's no longer the tree. It is a piece of wood, a table. But if the carpenter would stop making the table, would it cease to exist? No, because it's not the carpenter making the table. The carpenter formed the table, but the tree was already there. Everything in the world was already created before you make it into something. There's nothing like a black hole. I mean, there's nothing that comes from nothing. The world was the only thing that was created from nothing. God took himself, the words of himself, created the world. So everything in a physical form has to have a spiritual backing. You can't make money unless you have backing. Nobody could take $1 and become a billionaire. You have to first have the dollar, of course. You can't go and say, okay, I'm going to get rich. Sir, what do you have to invest? Nothing.
No,
Sir, what do you have? My brain. That's not enough. Because if you don't have sustenance, your brain doesn't do nothing. But if you have fluent words of majestic beauty, then you could do stuff without money, without anything. Because the words are more powerful than any physical thing in the history of mankind. That's the special thing about the creation of the world. It's done with words. So yeah, you could become a billionaire by speaking. Without the sustenance. But to invest something without nothing, it's impossible.
The power of the Jews is to speak.
That's our power of our Jewish people. That's how we survived for thousands of years. It's through our speech. We didn't have any money. We didn't have any... Oh,
Happy birthday. Whose birthday?
Jared Kishner just came in. Jared, thank you for coming. Ivanka was waiting for you.
Where?
Where'd she go?
Where? I won.
Everybody, Jared has just came. We're happy. Jared is a nice religious Jewish boy.
Jared's a
Man.
pervert, dude. He got arrested from Chabad.
What? Serious?
Jared's the one that used to eat
Who's
Subways.
No.
It's a different Jared.
Lost like 200 pounds and then was watching like inappropriate videos. And
That's a different guy. Let's not keep this.
I don't want to
We're now talking at Trump Tower, so we have to
Oh,
behave.
you're recording. Sorry. You should have told me that. Pizza?
Everything you say is written in a book, right?
Not my fault.
In this case,
Not my fault.
I'm gonna watch for this.
if this is the case with regard to physicality in general, how much more so can it be said with regard to matters that are discussed
A lot of for bison.
in the Torah itself? Everything in the Torah has 4 layers of interpretation. There's Pshut, Remesh, Drush, and Soid. So everything in this world has something behind it that's keeping it alive.
Good luck.
So, what are these 4 elements that keep everything alive in this world? Everything in this world exists as a result of this.
The words. That speaking.
So everything in this world, this Pshut has something behind it. Soid. What's Pshut?
Shot.
Pshat. Pshat is a literal meaning. Pshat,
In short.
in short. Then there's drush. Then there's remez. Remez is allusions and hints. When you read something, you find hints in it. So you see the deeper meaning, sort of. Drush is comprehension of words and verses that are sold over. Soid is the mystical and deep meanings of the words. So Soid is the hardest thing to get at. We see that everything that is discussed in Torah has a spiritual meaning and relevance. Every single thing in the world. Every single thing in history of mankind.
What? I said it's
So what is the thing that's keeping us alive? What is the thing at all times that makes us relevant? People want to be relevant. Oh, I don't feel relevant. Because everything we read in the Torah is not something that happened. It's something that exists now. Not something that's the past. It is the present and the future. You understand?
It's the present and the future.
And the future at the same time.
Uh-huh. Present and future at the same time. The Torah.
The Torah is at all times, at all times.
Sure.
So let us continue discussing this idea. We see that everything that is discussed in Torah has a spiritual meaning and relevance. Although the psukim that describe the tribe of Asher's connection with oil must be taken literally, right?
Yeah.
As we see that on a physical level, yes, they were successful. They had great portions of land. Asher's portion of land, and in fact, filled with abundance of olives. He was the guy who made olives, and olive was like gold back in the day. Everybody needed olives for everything. It's like the people who had salt in those days were millionaires. Salt was traded as currency back in the day. It was like gold, yeah. Everybody needs salt for everything. So also oil. Oil was used in Israel for everything.
So much salt would throw in the streets to get rid of ice.
Throw the salt on the street for ice to get rid of ice. But I'm saying back in the day, it was different currencies. You know how to use it? You press the button all the way on the bottom, and it turns it on. It doesn't turn on?
Plugged in?
This plug works?
Yes. You just press the button. There's a little button all the way on the bottom, and you press that and it starts to toast. You see that little black button on the bottom? Press that. Works?
No, no.
Okay. However, we must also recognize that there is a more spiritual interpretation that lies beneath the surface. So, yes, we have to take everything from the Torah literally. Everything from the Torah is spoken without missing anything. It's not a history lesson. It's not a history book. It's telling you things that are supposed to affect you in life, and there's a lot of parts that it leaves out because it's not relevant to every single person. If you want to hear the whole story, there's many commentaries that explain the entire story of what happened, because it's known what happened, but it was not written in the book. But whatever happens is relevant. But there is a spiritual meaning behind every single thing. Bass. You want to read bass? Read bass a little bit.
Who, me?
Yes. Birthday boy.
I don't
Give me like a few pieces.
really translate.
I'll translate. You just read the one paragraph.
Opinion from the total of Shemin Rago and Ruchnis is the idea behind what it says in Torah that you dip your feet in. Shemin is this. Shemin is a remez on the tongue. What's that? It's on the tongue. Indicting.
On the
word?
yeah. No, on the tongue.
On the tongue. It's on the tongue.
On the tongue means, as we will soon be explained. On the tongue is what we're going to say over later.
Oif Chachma. So Shemin is the remez of Chachma. What's Chachma is their hechter tile by them mentioned. Because Chachma is the highest. What's tile? What's tile? Level? What? Pizza? No, it's mizonos.
It's a mochi. Also.
Oh yeah?
Could be a mochi, could be
Are
mizonos.
we live?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Would you like to say hello to your mother or father?
No.
Yotzer HaMovis.
What?
Yotzer HaMovis.
Oh,
Alive, but nobody watching.
wait, what's a tile? What's a tile? Well, it's Chachma is there a part? Yeah? Is there a hechter tile by dimension? It's the highest part of dimension, yeah? Regel is there neither tile for dimension. And the feet is the lowest part of the dimension. Tovel, B'Shemen, and Rago might, and dipping his feet in Shemen means as Regel noitzt sich mit Shemen. That the foot is noitzt sich. What's that?
Noitzich.
Uses the with shem with oil. Das heißt as chash oiserach is the Regel. What's oiserach? Oiserach. Huh?
Oil.
Oil?
Feet.
Oiserach?
We're saying, let us now analyze the spiritual meaning of the verse. That's what we're saying. We're trying to analyze this verse. And he will immerse his feet in oil. What does it mean he will immerse his feet? Moshe Rabbeinu said that Usher will immerse his feet in oil. What does that mean? Because oil represents Chachma. That's what we're trying to say. Oil is Chachma. Chachma is contemplation, understanding.
The highest part of the mention.
Torah also represents oil.
Chachma is wisdom. The highest of the person's facilities is Chachma, while feet is the lowest physical body. So why would he bless him that his feet should be with oil? You're saying you should be the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like. Even though it should seem that wisdom is the much higher level than feet by immersing one's feet in oil, right?
Feet stink.
So why is oil, which is wisdom, right? Oil is called wisdom. So why you say the feet in the wisdom? What do you mean the feet in wisdom? It should be the brain in wisdom. The wisdom in wisdom. The understanding in wisdom.
The knowledge.
The knowledge of wisdom.
So you're putting the lowest with the highest instead of the highest with the highest.
Yes.
What is chach oyster?
I'm gonna go from early today. I'm gonna
Yeah, just came. Made a few more minutes.
because last night I had a crazy dream, and so I felt like I was staying. I was waking up because of my dream last night. If I because I went to the wedding last night in Torah,
Yeah.
and I came back after around 12ish. Went to bed around 12, and I went to sleep. I got up 5:55, and then throughout the night I had this dream like someone was keeping me up. It was like I was speaking to a female about a date or whatever, and I felt like it was a real thing. So I felt like it was keeping me up. If I went for had 2.5, 3 hours sleep.
Let me explain to you something.
Seriously.
If you sleep 5 minutes properly, that's like the whole night.
Yeah, sometimes
They say most dreams are less than 5 minutes.
So that you didn't remember.
Sometimes a whole lifetime of a dream could be in 1 minute. You could have a whole lifetime. You could dream a whole lifetime, like you lived a whole life in some other reality. And then you come back to your body and you're like, what? It's only 2 o'clock?
I don't sleep for
It never happened to you? You slept for 5 months once? I one time remember dreaming a whole lifetime, entire life, from the time I was born till the time I died.
When it came out of your lungs.
Everything, the whole lifetime. I lived my whole life.
Wait, when did you die?
And then I woke
Were
up.
you an old man when you died?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know I died. I woke up.
You know?
Oh, that's like when you woke up when you died, huh?
I got old, and I woke up, boom, and it was like 5 minutes. An hour or whatever, a few minutes. It was the longest dream I ever remember having in my life.
What?
Come on, have a plate.
Thank you very much, Malka.
Mazel tov, thank you. Mekel Chaim.
Thank you very much. Why don't we have a little bit a shot of
Yeah.
Yes.
Chaim Chaim.
Maybe you can give us something. Today's
Happy
tonight.
birthday. We have Bracha, Tzlacha, B'chol Ma'aseh Yodov. May you grow up to Yerushalayim, Lamden.
Amen.
May you get married.
Amen.
This second, take from Yam Mamish. Every girl out there, this guy will get married. B'ezrat Hashem,
Hashem
take from
should
Yam
bless
Mamish.
you in
And he will be
abundance.
taken by the time this video is out. Chaim Chaim.
Hashem should bless you in abundance with whatever you need. And what?
Amen. Shkar.
I'll thank you
Fine, fine.
that.
Kalman Ben.
Huh?
Kalman.
Eitan.
Eitan Ben.
Then Reb Tzvi Baruch Toim.
Rav Baruch Cohen
Whoa,
should
whoa.
should have the best birthday of his life.
Everybody
Oh.
speak.
May he do
So far, so far.
brachas. May he go from strength to strength. Mekel Chaim. Hello.
Yo, you have to say fine.
Yeah, you cut the guy's birthday and you walk out like a goy. What are you, a goy?
Yeah,
Grab a
don't be-
goy.
Don't be a goy.
A yid comes out like a yid.
Do we have shot cups?
Thank you very
Or
much.
what do we use this?
Let's go to secrets.
Yeah, how that you like
Okay.
always texting, looking at girls and stuff like that.
His whole life is to get married. That's his whole life. Chaim L'chaim. Shlomo should get married and get a good job. Single and available, Shlomo. And Yudaleib, you should get married
Shlomo?
also.
Amen.
Stop hocking China. Stop telling stop telling girls you drive trucks.
Take another cup for me?
Tell girls
Get
that you
another
have a
cup.
job. Don't say you have a
Take a second
truck
cup.
driver. Nobody wants to marry a truck driver. Why you want your truck driver?
Unless you're a truck driver that makes millions. What's up?
Yeah, where is this? You
It
like
is?
the truck driver?
Like a tea.
No, in
like a
Australia.
tea tap.
No, you don't like that.
That's the
So what's up, Mayor? How's it going? How's the chalbusa? Put a little bit more in there, Raksha. It's going well? Adler?
Everybody's got some?
Huh?
Okay, thank you very much.
So we're going
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Let's go
See you,
for our
Judah.
break.
Judah Maccabee. Judah Maccabee.
Judah. Oh, wants a screwdriver. We can mix this.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Well, one
Using
thing
your
is
head right
is
there.
usually using another. Generally, the higher matter uses something lower for its benefits.
That's it.
When you want to go somewhere, you gotta ride a horse.
If
When
you
you want to
wanna
go somewhere, you gotta ride a piece of
horse.
metal. Whatever it is.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
I ride my bike.
Mrs. Peel.
Though we see that in some way the feet must be even greater than the wisdom.
The feet.
Because without the feet, you ain't got no wisdom.
Without the feet,
You ain't gonna be
got
able to
no
go nowhere.
wisdom. You got no water. How you gonna survive?
This is similar to the prophecy regarding the times of Mashiach. And on that day it says, his feet will stand in the mountains of olives. Oil symbolizing wisdom. It says on that day, as we mentioned previously, olives are the source of the oil.
There's olives right here. There's
Therefore,
olive dip right
We
here.
have olive dip right here. We have pickles also. We have schmaltz heading. We have sushi.
Schmaltz herring.
Oil symbolizes wisdom, as is mentioned previously. Olives are the source of the oil, and therefore symbolize the source of wisdom, a level even higher than the wisdom itself. And the mountain of olives is the level even greater than olives, for it is the place for which the olives are brought forth. Their source is the mountain. So where do you get the olives? You get it from the source, from the mountain. Piece of rock. Piece of rock. You understand? It is self-understood that the spiritual significance of the mountain of olives is extremely lofty. They say the Messiah is going to come to the mountain of olives, right? It says the first place Mashiach is going to come is the mountain of olives. He's going to split the mountain. Anybody buried in there is going to come right out.
In the mountain?
That's
No.
why everybody wants to be buried in the Mountain of
Or is it
Olives.
just-
Because they say the first place Mashiach's going to come is to the Mountain of Olives and he's going to split the rock.
It's full of dead people?
It's the biggest cemetery in the world. It's like layers. Hundreds of layers into the mountain.
That's scary.
The mountain doesn't exist anymore. It's basically a big grave.
Yeah.
Casket. It's a casket.
Yet the
Scary.
prophecy
Scary.
states that the feet will stand on the top of the mountain,
It's here. I think it's
indicating that the feet will be even greater than the lofty mountain. Mashiach will stand on the mountain. He
Preach
will
it, brother.
stand on it. The mountain, the highest of highest, where the olives are. The mountain of olives. Olive is wisdom. But yet feet are going to stand on that mountain. Sometimes you need feet to reach such a high level. Mashiach. Fine.
Fine.
Gonna rock,
Say your name, Rabbi, Mama, Yo, is our guy still with us? Carl? Yoshua?
On the phone?
Yeah.
He was watching for these.
No, Trump's watching.
Alright. Ivanka. Any questions, Ivanka?
Fine. What was happening with that girl today? Outside 770.
Oh.
What happened?
You heard there was a girl outside San Antonio?
Basically, her boyfriend
Oh, yeah.
beat the crap out of her, threw her down the steps,
Why did she
broke her phone because she found out that he was a criminal. And
She found out she
basically, like he got in trouble or something. She found out he had a big criminal past, like hundreds.
So what did you
Right.
do? You called Shea Hell?
So she kicked him out of the he kicked her out of the house at 3 o'clock in the morning because he figured that she knows too much information. He took her phone and smashed it. Didn't let her have ID or anything.
Jewish?
Threw her out
She's Jewish?
on the streets. Yeah, Jewish girl. Her
He's
name
a
is
goy?
Edith. Her name is Edith.
He's a goy?
I don't know. And
So what'd you do?
So she was like standing there for 3 hours talking to people, trying to get help. Nobody knew what to do.
Older or younger?
She's like 23 years old,
Poor girl.
and with pigtails, crying the whole time. Every time she's telling a story, she's crying. And people are like, yeah, we can try to help you.
Can't believe.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
have
it's
to go to
awful.
community council. Go there. Go to China. Go to Mexico.
Did they go to community council?
So
Did she go?
yeah, she went to community council,
They
but
didn't
then they file what kind of information, what paperwork she has to do.
Those papers, like, okay, file this, get back in a week, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we'll find,
She's like, I'm in
We'll
the
give you
street.
we'll give
I
you
tried
some,
to give her food. She said I'm too nervous to eat. She couldn't even eat.
we'll give you some food stamps.
So who'd you call?
So I spoke to somebody. I
Who,
spoke to
Shane
another.
Huff?
I went around speaking to people. Who should I call? And then I called Moshe Fagman from Aliyah, Chassidish Yid, my competition.
Yeah.
But
Why?
I don't think I'm his competition. He thinks I'm a competition. I don't think.
Why? He also has crazy people in his place?
Yeah. Man. Baruch Hashem.
Well, this is not competition. It's a different.
It is different.
No,
We're
let me tell you
different
something,
people.
nobody can compete with you, man.
Can't compete.
The kind of people that come here,
Yeah, this is the top.
Yes. Hello.
that's the girl.
You're watching the class online on YouTube.
What's up, girl?
Bas Master, we're live on YouTube
Dude, this is good,
at
man.
TrumpLearningKabbalahLive.com.
I don't know the camera now. Yeah.
I'm on the
It's-
phone.
it's
Very
actually
nice.
warm
You want to
well.
talk to the people here? You want to ask a
You want
question
one
on the
slice?
Chassidus?
Close, you want?
Okay,
Roll
everybody.
warm it up.
Lipsker's on the phone. Lipsker, say something.
Can I invite Dion?
Oh, you see a Melech.
Hello? Who's this?
Lipsker.
This is Lipsker?
Baruch Hashem, okay, we'll talk to you later. We're in the middle of a class, okay?
Mrs. Lipsker, top of the morning.
Who is it?
Lipsker's nephew. He's taking care of him. He lives with him.
Oh yeah.
He's
Oh,
a
there's a
special,
guy?
special needs.
Oops,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So, what is
So,
it?
what happened in the end?
Also, the girl, I got her to go to Aliyah.
Bring her here.
Got her to Aliyah, and they find so he got me in contact with another guy who has shelter for girls who are in need.
That's
and
what I would have done.
basically,
there such a
hopefully
thing
she's
now?
taken care of.
Huh?
Hopefully she's taken care of.
Yeah.
I offered to take my number, but she don't want to take my number.
Well, all her stuff is in an apartment, and this guy kicked her out.
3 o'clock in the morning.
How did she end up with this loser?
A lot of people end up with losers
Yeah.
because they think they love them. And this is one of the ways they force them to love them even more, is they
Because
to
dependent
manipulate
on the-
them
Yeah.
to thinking that they can't live without him. And they throw them in the streets, and then they, after a day or two, they come back crying, saying they were wrong. Because they know nobody's going to help them. They know the community council is going to send them flying, and everybody else is send them flying.
I
But
can't-
the boyfriend didn't
community
expect
council,
to meet me.
That's weak. That is weak. If the community council doesn't know what to do with a battered woman, it's awful.
I mean, there's a lot of bad women.
It's like, it sounds like they're not prepared for anything.
Yeah, I mean, if that's like the easiest, so to speak, case. You know?
I remember I
just
used to
go to the battered women's shelter. Very kindness.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
They're so spaced out over there. They're like, they're
Terrible
sitting there
thing.
in those little cubicles where they're just like, they hate this job. They hate that job. They can't wait to get out of it.
9 to
Oh,
5.
you need help?
They did help me get
We're
insurance.
it's lunchtime right now. Come back later.
They helped me get
What do you-
insurance.
what do you need?
Good.
You need insurance?
They helped me get a job that I last like in a month.
Oh yeah, with that guy from the JCC, that older guy.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, they get it from different places. People
Yeah.
just refer. It's sometimes it's helpful.
There, yes.
They're helpful with easy stuff. Anything major, like I'm dying.
Go to Google. Type it in Google.
You're much better with Google. Trust me. Way better.
There.
You have
How's
better
it
chance
going?
of surviving.
No, they can help you with like making a fake ID,
Uh,
making a fake insurance
well,
ID.
you want Obamacare? Well, here's a stack of papers. Fill this out.
Come back in a month.
Come
and
back in a month, and then
in 6 months from now, you'll get it.
and we'll file it, and then we'll let you know.
And they have but they have Yellow Vialdo over there. Yellow Vialdo helps people get insurance.
Yeah, that's who gave me insurance. Yeah.
It's not them. They have this
Right.
other organization from Borough Park that comes to them
Right.
a few times a week, and the government sponsors.
Borough.
Government
You
pays
see how-
big salaries for that.
The Congress is not even capable of such thing. They have to
No,
go
we
Borough.
need to improve. We'll improve. God willing. Don't say we will not. We
You
help.
know what?
Why don't you
improve
run
on?
for city council?
You know what Crown Heights improve is the best time? The best improvement is rent. They improve it every month, on and on.
Oh, yeah,
the best.
Keeps improving.
They improve the rent every year. They
Every
the
year
rent
just
is
keeps
improved.
improving non-stop.
We improve it every
And
year.
everything just goes to crap.
We go
you know?
straight up. We never go down in rent.
Unbelievable, you know?
Higher
By the way,
and
I'm-
higher.
But we do have stabilized rent for anybody who needs. We do give stabilized buildings for people from the community. We have Fisher's buildings, other people, where we give anybody who's Jewish, we give them a
Really?
free half price apartment. It's called
Oh, that's
low income
It's
housing.
like Section 8.
It's like Section 8, but it's
Yeah,
low
but it's
income
not-
housing. And
Like, how is that legal?
as a
though?
member of the
It's
community,
discrimination.
no, blacks could do it too.
Oh, they can?
Anybody could do it.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't have 10 kids, you cannot be accepted. You have to have
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, you have to have like 6 kids. or
Uh-huh.
something.
So you're almost there, fine.
So it's mainly Jews.
Yeah,
But
Keep
no,
on doing
God's
it.
are non-Jews too.
you know, keep on doing it.
We've got that new place that's opening in my unit.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yeah, it's
listen,
like they give you support.
they always buy buildings
they
like
always
in the
buy
middle of nowhere.
the worst parts of town.
Yeah, they find the worst neighborhood and they give it to you.
There's like shootings every night.
Shootings every night. No, you know in Detroit you could get a house for $500 a month.
So nothing. The government pays you to take it.
Yeah, they take it. They pay you to take it. Detroit
It's
for
foreclosed.
$1
Everything's
$1
foreclosed.
a year you can pay rent. You know.
It's a shame.
No, it's not. It costs a lot of money, Detroit. The reason why it's so
No,
cheap.
I'm saying it's a shame that so many houses foreclosed.
Yeah, but you could rent a house. You could rent a house for $100 a month. Rent a house.
Why would I want to buy and rent a house for $100?
Not buy, rent. Never buy a house in Detroit. Only rent.
Oh,
Because if you
rent,
buy
yeah.
a house in Detroit, you're gonna pay so much income tax
It's stuck
from whatever the previous owner didn't pay. You have to pay. So if the guy didn't pay tax
yeah.
for 20 years,
Because the bank owns it. Right?
you're paying 20 years worth of
You have
taxes.
to take care of the.
You're paying maybe $3 million for a house in the middle of the worst neighborhood.
That's the same thing.
Not
goes
$3 million. Let's say you're paying $500,000 for a house that's in the middle of nowhere, and you paid $1 for it. You think you paid $1, but the tax on the house is $500,000.
So you basically have to get a loan for like 100 years.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And you're living in a neighborhood where there's only crime. Nothing else to do there.
You
The
know,
only thing the only way you can make a living is selling drugs.
that's why
Uh-huh.
I looked at like different places, like places to buy in Brooklyn. There's so many foreclosed places, and the price is like so low. Like you think like
You think so?
Here's houses for 2 million, 3 million, and here's a house for like 100,000. You're thinking, wow, dude, I gotta get this.
You got excited, huh?
And then you realize
Then
like,
you want-
wait a minute, it's 100,000.
And income
Once
tax.
you pay that off, then you have like another $1 million to go.
Forget about the million, maybe $3 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And income.
What, from what, taxes?
Yeah.
Anything, fees, lawyers.
The guy who buys the property has to pay every fine. Let's say any garbage
Yeah.
fee the guy didn't pay, Any electric bills he
Right.
didn't pay. Any gas bills he didn't pay.
Yeah.
Any things that he did wrong.
HVAC, whatever.
And while the house was closed for banks anymore because the banks can't afford anything. The only people they give money to is people who have money. People who don't have money, they can't give money to. They don't have money to give them.
Obama is an F-head.
We're live on national Obama TV.
Hey, Obama.
Obama, this guy doesn't like
Don't have
you.
intercourse with yourself.
Obama, this guy doesn't like you. I'm sorry. We apologize to the Obama family, but we like Trump better.
Man.
And everybody's invited to
Fireplace?
Gary
Find out.
Kitchener's Chabad house on in Washington. We're making a big celebration on next Friday night. We're having the Shabbat dinner
In Washington?
right after Trump's inauguration. We're having a big Shabbos dinner.
There's gonna be 2 huge parties. by
Yes,
the way.
2 minutes. We're making big parties.
First party is gonna be Obama leaving the White House.
Yeah.
Friday night
And
we're
the
making.
second
Yes.
one might hopefully it doesn't take too long. Is when he freaking dies. That's gonna be the biggest party in the freaking world. It's gonna be like after it's fireworks, ponies, everything like balloon animals. It's kind of off the hook, man.
So you're not a big fan of Obama?
So,
Are you?
No, I'm not. But it's just.
you know, we just got a death threat from somebody.
Oh.
Oh, Rabbi.
Oh! Everybody, David is here. David and Goliath.
Earlier, like
You're too early. You came too early.
In the middle.
pizza again, like good.
We have sushi.
You
And
like
what
the
they
healthy
represent in their spiritual service of Hashem.
Once in a while.
I'm Bill's teaching you.
Oil signifies a person who studies Torah and fulfills mitzvahs because he appreciates. Sure, you use your feet. You don't use the brain necessarily. You do it.
You do it.
Action.
You're like a
Also-
Kamor Gadol.
Oil, on the other hand, is you gotta squeeze it. You gotta think about it. You gotta intellect it. Yeah. Oil is all about a person who studies and fulfills the mitzvah and he understands it.
What you want? What you want me to-
Is it plain pizza or is it plain? What do you make?
Feed on the other says okay. Accepting the will of Hashem simply because he is Hashem's desire. Just as feet are the lowest part of the body and do not contain a person's higher facilities, such as intellect or emotions, likewise, Kabbalah's oil is a service of Hashem that does not involve a person's ability to understand or take pleasure in what he is doing.
How's oil?
Kabbalah's oil.
Fold. Kabbalah fold.
Kabbalah's oil is the service of Hashem that does not involve a person's ability to understand. Certain things you cannot understand. We're humans. We have limited brains. We have limited brain power. How come people when they read a computer and they go, Rabbi Google, help me, Rabbi Google. What should I do, Rabbi Google? And Rabbi Google tells you something, and you write, you say Siri, Rebbitzin Siri, help me out. And right away you believe them. Why? Because you have Kabbalah's oil. Because you don't never understand it. So you ask Siri, you ask Rabbi Google, and they answer you, and you believe what they say, because you know they have better knowledge than you. Even though most of what Google says could be 100% BS, because Google just takes any facts that are out there and puts it into the system, and a lot of it could be untrue. I'm sorry, guy from Google over here. I'm sorry.
Who owns this guy?
What about CNN?
Apologize.
CNN,
CNN,
fake news.
CNN fake.
They make news. They make
Come on, CNN is Hillary run news. Everybody
Make
knew
it
that
up.
from the beginning.
Clinton News Network.
Clinton News
It's like
Network,
watching a
CNN.
movie. It's like watching a fiction movie.
When I listen to CNN, it's like, I know I'm watching, everything against,
sci-fi channel.
everything like
It's
illusional
like
stuff.
watching a movie. It's
Yeah, you
made
watch,
up.
a
Made up
documentary.
Story. Made up story.
Like they have the documentary, what happened if the Confederates took over America? The same thing. What would happen if Hillary took over America? The Confederates were run by the Hillary supporters. Everybody should know that. Democrats were the ones who were the KKKs. Democrats are the ones who charge of slavery. 100% of Democrats voted for slavery. 100% of Republicans voted against slavery. So
Seems not good.
Yo, when are you gonna run? For
the
city
Jews always
council?
were
When are
supportive.
you gonna run for city council?
I am running for city council, God willing. When I make billions of dollars, because I have to be like Donald Trump. Donald Trump has to be able to have money in order to lose all his money. He's giving up all his money connections. He's giving up everything so he can run for president. He just announced yesterday that he's giving up his entire business. He's closing all the
He's not giving
billions.
up crap. He's giving it to his children.
Listen, the
Okay, but
guy
he's giving
is-
up billions of dollars
guy
in
is a
transactions.
billionaire.
People don't want to do business with his
I
children
had
necessarily.
1% of the money he had. I'd be.
He's still in the
I'd
family
have more
business.
money.
He
than
And
I
all
know
his
what to
money
do
and
with.
assets are going to be put in a trust fund. He can't even touch it. The whole time he's president, he can't
Yeah,
touch
but
the
he's
money.
gonna tell his kids what to do with it.
No, he cannot.
But even if he takes 1%,
Every business deal they do, he cannot get involved.
If
The
he
only
took
thing he can
one-
do is
if
he
he-
can read in the newspaper.
if he just kept 1% of what he has, the wealth he has, he had more money than I would know what to do with.
Listen, God only gives you what you can handle.
1% would be like $30 million.
Should have a lot of money.
He doesn't have most of the money. Most of the money is assets. So he doesn't have that much money.
Yeah, but assets he can always they generate. They constantly generate.
Let me ask you, Jared,
dividends and
David, you're worth $100 million, right?
200.
That's not a lot of money.
Well,
I understand that but maybe you could borrow from Ivanka $1 billion. She'll give you. You know,
A new
$1.
new
They call-
currency.
They call it $1
Yeah,
million.
1 million NT was worth one soul.
What are you talking about?
1 grain of salt.
SOL, soul like the sun.
So
Wow.
You believe it?
This is too much. I don't understand.
No,
the currency went down so
Germany,
bad
in the Weimar
that
Republic in
$1 was worth $1 million. $1 worth $1 million of those
Germany, in the
dollars.
Weimar
'Cause
Republic.
that's how bad the economy was.
Where?
In whatever the country he was talking about.
On the Weimar Republic, it reached 1 billion marks equal to $1.
$1 billion marks.
You see, you need a
First, you
to
needed
buy
$3
a
billion.
loaf, to buy a loaf of bread,
$3
you have to
billion
take a
for
wheelbarrow
for
full
a
of
tuna
money.
bagel.
You'd have to take like wheelbarrows and stuff
So
and bring it to the
joke was,
supermarket.
the
You'd have to
guy-
be